Morning, peeps. It is early and I'm down at the lake and thought I'd do a video, quick video here because we have like this crazy day today. Hubby's got to shoot this afternoon, so I wanted to go ahead and do this. And it is, did you just fart? Seriously? It is really cold. And it's looking like rain, so I'm on the boat though, so it's pretty sheltered. So we're gonna get this done. So I really did not want to do this video. I'm just gonna put that disclaimer right out there. My husband felt like I should do it, and although I very rarely listen to my husband, I decided to take his advice this time and put this out there, and in the hopes that it will possibly encourage someone else who is going through a health crisis, some sort of health journey that inhibits what they do and makes what they do, what they want to do, that much harder. If it can encourage anybody to get out there and do it regardless of what you're going through, then it's worth it to me. What this video is about really is kind of my story and the struggles that I have to go through to train for hiking on a daily basis. I'm gonna keep it as short and sweet as possible, try not to bore anybody to death. Basically, 30 years ago, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's an autoimmune disease where your body attacks itself. Got diagnosed when I was about 25. For about 2 years, I kind of struggled. I was sick a lot. It progressed really quickly. I ended up in 2 years going downhill really fast, to the point where I was finally admitted to the hospital at 6:30 in the morning, extremely ill. So I spent 6 weeks in one hospital. Lost lots of weight. They really didn't realize how sick I was, and then when they finally went in and took a look, they saw that my colon was completely covered in ulcers. And so they immediately rushed me to Chapel Hill. It just so happens that my doctor, my family care doctor, went to school with a brilliant surgeon who specialized in these type of disease. So anyway, I fell into the right hands, literally. I went through numerous surgeries, 3 planned surgeries over the period of 3 months. I had an ostomy bag for a short time. And then I had one unplanned emergency surgery where I hemorrhaged and almost bled to death. So I lost a lot of weight. I lost all my muscle. I was down to 98 pounds, I think. I was really, really skinny. I could barely walk. Finally went home, had to go home with an open incision, and which I had to sterilely clean every day. Next couple of months, I started to heal, but it was a slow process gaining muscle back. Over the next year, I was able to kind of walk again, but I got tired really easily. So fast forward 30 years, I did really good for a long time. I had to get used to not having a colon. That was definitely a struggle for me, being active, because your colon is what reabsorbs water into your system. So not to mention nutrients, things like that I was constantly dehydrated. Anyway, I started getting sick again, started having blockages. Was determined that I had scar tissue buildup and was getting blockages from that. It got worse. Meanwhile, also during one of the CT scans that they did, they found a mass on my left kidney. So I went back to Chapel Hill to the oncologist. They did a biopsy. It was malignant, and I went in and had that surgery, and they removed it. I was blessed in the way that if you could have cancer, I had the best kind of cancer. It was completely encapsulated on my left kidney, and they were able to remove it and only remove 15% of my kidney. So I had that going on, healing from that, plus dealing with this other. I continued to get worse. The blockages got worse. They were interfering with me trying to hike. My doctor finally suggested that I come back in and they do a resection and take out that section of scar tissue. So they did. Over December a year ago, I had that section removed. I had an ostomy bag for a while again, and then they did another surgery in January, and they kind of hooked everything back up. So when I got out and when I healed from that, I really made this decision. I wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail, and I wanted to start training. So I did. I started training. I ran into the problems I run into, the same problems I have without having a colon, is dehydration. I have to drink water constantly. I hate drinking water. It's just, I've never been one to drink water, and so I really have to force myself to do that. And I have found that I use Drip Drop, which flavors the water and also gives me electrolytes, and that helps a lot. That makes it a little easier for me to drink so much. I have to stay on top of hydration, or it will take me out, literally take me out. So when I'm hiking, that is one thing that I have constantly got to have water. And I will probably have to hike with extra water on the trail, which is of course going to increase my weight. But it is one of those things that I have to do. So I don't have to worry as much about what I eat anymore. What is not going to be pleasant is the multitude, of times that I have to, go to the bathroom during the day. Yeah, I know that's TMI, but unfortunately it's a factor, and it is debilitating at times. And it's especially not going to be fun in the middle of the night when it is 10 degrees and I have to get out of a warm sleeping bag and go, to the privy or in the woods, whatever. So anyway, those are things that I'm going to have to deal with. That's really, that's a lot, I know, a lot to process there. But that's really, that's my story. That's the issues I have while I'm training, while I'm hiking. Dehydration being number one, especially in the summer months. It's crazy hard then. So my YouTube channel name is That's Amazing, Grace. So it's kind of we got that name, and again, my husband really had a lot to do with this. I was not completely sold on it. I didn't want to get the trail name Gracie. I can't stand that. No offense to anybody whose name is Gracie. I just didn't want it. But it's kind of it has a twofold meaning. One is I feel like when I look back, the way things worked out with my surgeries and the fact that I almost died several times during the whole process, but things kind of fell into place at the right time that my life was spared. I don't think that was random. I believe that there was divine intervention in that. For whatever reason, I was supposed to be here now. And maybe it was to encourage somebody. I hope that is the case, and I hope that I can do that. So that is kind of one of the meanings behind my YouTube channel. Okay, the second part of the reasoning behind this name is kind of silly, and it has nothing to do with anything inspirational. My hubby and I, one of our favorite Christmas traditions is to watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. Yes, I know it's stupid, but it's hilarious. So one of my favorite parts in the whole movie is Aunt Bethany. And, Grace, well, she died 30 years ago. So anyway, that it just kind of popped up, with the whole Aunt Bethany thing and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Anyway, I know it's kind of silly, but that's what it is. So, okay. I promise that, the next videos coming out are going to be on actual hiking, some training hikes. I already have a couple lined up. And also, I am going to do a gear review after Christmas, when hopefully I can get the rest of my gear. I've almost got everything. I'm switching out a few things already, and I will talk about that as well. So, thanks for listening to this long diatribe. I'm sorry if it's boring to you. Hopefully, hopefully it will help somebody. And that's what I got today. Gonna go get this busy day on and hike on. I'll see you guys out there.